You'd be a very cute duck. Good morning. It rained last night. We've actually gotten rain for several days in a row. It's been an amazing blessing from God. We're very grateful for the rain. It's been much needed. Also, there have been a couple fun changes. We had 2 mama ducks sitting on nests of eggs, and of course we had one hatch out, one of the nests hatch out. We got 7 babies, one of them unfortunately died. Now we've had a second clutch hatch. Hi, it's okay. Hey guys. So what happened? Oh, poor thing. The mother of these younger ones, you can see a slight difference there. Mother of the younger ones left her nest after they had just hatched. She was so excited. She came over here, got her food. Anyway, while she was away, the other mother, the mother of the older ones, went over to her clutch, which is behind the wood over there, and got them to follow her. So this, the black one on the left, is the mother of the new ones, and the light one that's walking away with most of them is the is the older mother. It looks like they've kind of learned to share a little bit. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we'll see. Kind of funny though. Regardless, we have 12 ducklings now, or as my boys call them, quacklings, which is adorable. Speaking of the boys, let's go see them. But first, as we walk through the garden, I wanted to show where we had the peas. I have now pulled them out, pulled out the weeds. The weeds are far more abundant than the pea plants at this point. And it looks like we're ready to plant. Hey buddy, I'm coming out there.
How are you doing?
Looks like this patch is just about ready. It smells amazing. It's nice dry weeds. Ready for something else. I'm not quite sure yet. Maybe we'll plant more peas, maybe some spinach. This garden is quite abundant right now. That chicken is not helping though. We have a few chickens that are getting in here. So the pool is up and being used, and that's awesome. The boys especially have made good use of it.
Eric, take a sword.
This pool measures roughly 20 by 30 feet. It's a little less than that, but we calculated it, and we figured there's about 17,000 gallons in there. I'm excited about that because we've been, always been big advocates of storing food for, a rainy day, so to speak. And we, as most people do, have trouble storing enough water to really make a difference. The guideline is that you store 2 gallons per day, at least for 2 weeks. So for our family, that only equals 100 gallons or so. So after 2 weeks, though, what do you do? But anyway, when my in-laws offered us this pool, their old pool, that definitely instantly solved that problem. As long as we keep the water clean, it'll be easy to filter as drinkable or wash water should an emergency arise. So not only do we get to enjoy it as a pool, but yeah, now we have emergency storage of water. So we're really grateful for that. Check out all these pumpkins that we planted before we put the pool in. Looks like we're probably gonna have a lot of pumpkin vines and eventually pumpkins growing in and around the supports for the pool. I like to go out here in the garden every day, sometimes several times a day, and just enjoy it. We actually do live relatively near the mountains. You know, we can get up to a nice shady spot within half an hour to an hour, depending on where we go. And that's always enjoyable, but it's really nice to have a spot to just enjoy the sounds of nature and just to be amongst plants. There's our little makeshift lifeguard stand. You know, none of this is perfect, and we're just trying to expand the area that we tame. Every year we try to plant more and more trees. Some years they do well, like this one. This one, about 15 feet now. And it seems like trees just reach this point where, you know, they've been struggling for a few years. This one looks like it's not going to survive. This one here is in its struggling stage. We'll see what happens with that. We've learned to be patient though. Seems that it takes a few years to get trees. Here's a good one. Here's a good example of a tree that's struggled for a while. We thought it was dead, and then suddenly it came back. Seems like the roots take a while to get established, and once they do, even if the top dies off, if it has strong roots, it'll come back strong. Same thing with this. Took a couple years to really get going, and it's I feel like it's just barely past that struggling stage. And it's kind of a fun and interesting challenge to live in the West, where, you know, we love it here, but to try to utilize and appreciate the good things about the West, the drier air, the relative lack of insects in the air compared to other places, which is a good thing. But then we take the good things about it, try different things until we can make a lush area. We're trying very hard to make it be self-sustaining. You know, we want it to get to a point where we won't ever have to water it again, where we can just utilize the natural groundwater, which at our property is really high, so we don't have to struggle too much with trees once they get to a certain height. As you can see with our grove that's behind me here. Well, real quick, I want to talk about these milkweed plants that are all around me here. We actually planted these on purpose. You know, one year when we had milkweed growing by the side of our property, by the road, we went ahead and let the fluff blow around in our, you know, what will eventually become our fruit grove here, our orchard, and we just let it come up wherever we could. We think it's a beautiful flower, and of course feeds and attracts the monarch butterflies, but also it's edible. So when these little pods are an inch or 2 or sometimes 3 long, you can just pop them in some boiling water, put marinara or spaghetti sauce on them, and I love the flavor. They're really, really good. These pods are getting a little bit too big to eat. I mean, they're still certainly edible, but they get a little bit stringy inside. But when they're young, the strings, I'll go ahead and open one up. So the strings in here, the seeds and the silk, interesting texture of cheese. It's fascinating. It's good. Maybe the chicken will eat it. Might recommend you try it. Nice, good wild edible. It's really filling too.
There.
We really are pleased with our flowers. Every year it's a little bit different, but every year it's really fun and beautiful. It's so fascinating to see the variety of birds and bugs that come. Right now there are lots of hummingbirds. They're a little bit hard to capture. They're so fast moving. Oh, I can hear one now. Oh, they kind of fight with each other. I'm not sure if they're fighting over flowers or just the territory in general, but there seem to be about 10 of them, and they are plump. There's one. I can barely see it. You can hear this other one chattering. There he is.
They're like that tiny. This tiny.
Yeah,
That's a tiny bird.
it really is.
Look, the
You see 'em
kitties
everywhere?
are cuddling you.
Hi, kitties. I don't think they're in their enclosure. You know, I'm not surprised that they're getting out continually, but it doesn't make it any less annoying. Yep, they got out. I don't get it at all. This kind of thing has been perplexing me for quite some time. The cows continually find a way to escape, but there's no real evidence of how they did it. The cows are taken care of for now. And I'll head back to the house now. All right, back at the house. There's always a cement mixer here because I'm always planning on extending the sidewalk. Well, my 6 bags of concrete mix got rained on. So I can either spread this out as gravel, or I can try to mix it with a little bit of water, allow it to set up, and then pour a 2 to 3 inch cover on that with good concrete. But today might be the day to do it. We'll see. The hummingbird right there. They're so cute. These hummingbirds are really going at it. Wish I could get some better footage. Anyway, well, I need both my hands to start a new project. Maybe that concrete, maybe one of the other dozen or so things that are at the top of the list, as it always is. But I'm excited to do something. All right, well, thank you for joining me and my family. We will see you very soon. Bye.